Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, everybody. How was the weekend? Not okay? Are you excited like the semester is over? Who's excited? I'm not excited, because I think, you're good students and I should continue. You're going to miss this class someday. I read some reports and the students at the beginning, were saying, I don't know how we are going to make use of this course. And then I looked at their final report. I found them praising, and they're going they felt very sad that the course is over. But some students want it to be over, so this is the nature of a human being.
Want to graduate.
Yes, they want to graduate, and we understand their feelings. Good. Today is the last class. It should be the last class. I'm not sure how this class is going to proceed. But if we need another class, I don't mind giving on Monday. Today, as you see, we're going to conduct stylistic analysis. Of course, there will be daily report. This is after listening to the report. So we're going to see the choices created by, here, we're going to look at the poem and to see how the words which were chosen, which were deleted here, and then suggested by us, and then the words chosen by the poet, how they create certain pattern, which pattern they are creating, and what is the effect of that. But before we start, yes, we are going to listen to a report. Yes? Go ahead.
4 months later, time goes so fast. I got my memories and they will last. I try to keep it simple because I hate goodbyes by telling myself that I will remember this class. I remember all the things I have gone through. There's so much I can say, but words get in my way. From Wyatt to Owen, it all seemed once as a never-ending line of poems. So later on, when I'm sitting on my couch and recollecting my thoughts in tranquility, and each class will flash in my memory, or I'll go with the easy way and just watch the videos.
Thank you very much. This is very interesting. Clap for her, please. I like this. Good. Yes?
Good morning. December is the last month of this semester, so poetry class will end soon. The poetry train is led by Mr. Habib, who drives them carefully attention to avoid any accident. So he is a professional driver. The train crossed...
Am I bus driver or train driver? Okay. It's good to think of the teacher as a bus driver and the students as passengers, because this is metaphoric. And I think, if you don't give the students orientation of whereabout you are going, they're going to get, astray. They are going to get lost.
The train crossed 14 situations, all of them full of different features.
You mean stations, huh?
Stations. All of them full of different features. But now the train is stopping in the middle of war, and there are soldiers who fight and die for their countries. Also there are a sunshine, but its beams cannot able to recover the soldier's wound. After this station, the train will finish its trip and stop and arrive to the examiner. Next, the passenger will leave the train.
Okay, thank you very much. So I think this is the quality, or this is the importance of the report. It gives you a chance to reflect, to talk to yourself. It gives you a chance to develop a unique monologue, and this is what happened. So my interest was not to record what was happening in the class literally, but perhaps to reflect, to debate with yourself. Good. I know like some people want to read the reports. Is anybody dying to read her report? Yes? She's dying to read her report.
Good morning, everybody. Since we reached the last course of poetry, actually I began to have some feeling of grief and I began to feel sorry. For the first time I liked poetry course without any compliment, because we learned many things from this course and we had a lot of enjoyment. When I remember that we started to approach the end of that course, my tears began to drop or to fall down, but without any result or cause. Actually, I admired poetry lecture, and I'm not saying that because of standing here, but because this is the only course I admire, and I have some feeling of fear. And last but not least, I thank Mr. Habib because of his continual efforts in order to make us love this lecture, and because he provided with many useful information, and because he gave us a lot about this course, perfect and complete lecture. So, poetry lecture and Mr. Habib, I can't say goodbye because of the case of missing you, and I'm saying that without being shy.
So thank you very much. But you know, this is a valediction report. You know what's mean valediction? Like farewell, you know, valediction report. But again, like, I'm not sure whether they are going, you know, everybody here is sharing you, because we have some different point of views, and I'm interested in those different point of views. You know, if you want have a different point of view, you can come, or you can like let me know, because also I'm interested in those who do not like the course. You know, this is your right to like or not to like, you know. And I still remember many people who started not liking the course. Then when they told me about this, I made them like the course. You see what I mean? So if you have some reservation, you can approach me even after the course. Good. Today, as you see, we're going to see again like Wilfred Owen's Futility. Last time we generally discussed, if you remember, like the possibility of the soldier in the war, was he dead or not. We paraphrased the poem. Today we're going like to see like the choices here, and to see how the poet's choice perhaps makes pattern, because when we write a word, we should link this word with another word in the poem. So if we succeed, it means like we have certain patterns created, and this is good for poetry. So now, move him into the sun. Like for this stanza, I'm going to read for you some choices. You can write them. Early, shade, the word early, the word shade, the word revive, the word old, yes, the word restore, the word sun, the word morning, the word grave, the word kind, rouse, bright, hospital. Okay. Now, move him into the sun. Yes, that was. Now, can you substitute this by another like word? The words I gave you, you know, the word I've just given you. Yeah, move him into hospital. Move him into the hospital. Do you think this is a good choice? Huh? Yeah, but like, do you think? Let's see the hospital. So you think hospital is a good choice? Grave is a good choice, because he's dead. But I don't think, this perhaps is a good choice. Why? Because here it seems like there was uncertainty about the soldiers being, you see. And again, this is a battlefield, and it is unlikely for a soldier, to have like a funeral, to have the funeral procession in the battlefield. Soldiers who die in the battlefield are not given like burial soon. They're not buried soon. Grave, hospital, again, the word hospital is not possible. Now the choice, the word son, do you think it makes pattern with any of these words? Son. Is a good choice? Huh? This is what the poet used. Why? What does it make pattern with? Where can we link the word with? Yes, please.
Okay, in terms of the meaning, like you can look at the fourth line. Always it awoke him. This is something like the sun. This is the sun's doing. And also you can see it like when it comes to the poetic aspect. You can see it rhyming sort of with unsown. Like it's imperfect rhyme, but it's sort of.
It is imperfect. Good. Thank you very much. So I think the choice son is a good choice. Why? Because here the first stanza it ends with the sun, and it begins with the sun and ends with the sun. So if anything might rouse him, here the sun will know. So it makes pattern where it begins with the sun and ends with the sun. Yes, you're right. It is like here always it woke him once, because we know that the sun is linked with the act of awakening. But here again, the act of awakening, is the soldier like dead or alive? Is he awake or asleep? Because here in the poem, the idea of awakening is there, but it is cancelled by the sense of death and sleep, because it is cancelled by the possibility of death. So when we have awakening, which is cancelled by death, sometimes when we expect something would happen and it doesn't happen, how do we feel? We feel disappointed. We feel frustrated. We feel frustrated. So usually this is like the effect of the defeat of expectation. When our expectations are defeated, when we expect that something would happen and it doesn't happen, we are disappointed, and we feel that life sometimes, or things, all our waiting or all our expectation has been futile. You see what I mean? Concentrate on this word, futile. Good. Yes, again, you said sun and son. You said imperfect rhyme. Like, what would happen if the rhyme is perfect?
Because the uncertainty is given by the imperfection of the rhyme. Like, you don't know, there's something wrong going on. You don't know if he's probably alive or he's just asleep.
So you mean like the perfect rhyme has to do with sense of certainty? It has affirmative impact on us. It has positive. But here it seems like, the writer attitude has nothing to do with any sense of agreement or musicality at all. We'll discuss the rhyme there, Good. Move him into the sun. Gently its touch awoke him once. At home whispering of fields unsown, always it woke him even in France, until this morning and this snow. Like, if you remember in the previous class, we discussed that. It's good that I see new faces today, you know. Faces I have never seen before. Okay, I'm talking about the sun. You see, if you remember, last time we said the sun is introduced as animate and inanimate at the same time. How? Because the sun in the grammatical code is what? Animate or inanimate? Yes, inanimate. But in the poem, in the context of the poem, it is animate. So here, figuratively, it is animate. But grammatically, you know, in the language code, it is inanimate. So what do we have here? We have a kind of tension between animate and inanimate, between life and death. So these contrasts are created. Animate, inanimate, what else? Life and death. What else? Sun and? Huh? Sun and? No? We don't have the moon. The star? Okay. Yeah, the sun, if you don't look at the snow. So again we have, you know, pattern of contrast between coldness and warmth. And warmth. See what I mean? So these are in tension. And nothing is settled. Okay, if anything might, okay, we have choices I gave you. Like, what about restore? Restore is a good choice. You know, I gave you a word restore. What about the word restore? It's a good choice, isn't it? Which is a better choice? Restore or rouse or revive?
I like revive.
You like revive. Why?
It's sort of like giving life into something.
Yes?
But he's uncertain.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Why revive is a good choice?
I like it.
You like it? Does it make any pattern with, you know, revive?
Well, for me, it does make pattern with like awoke and waking, and it's got.
You know, but I think the word rouse has to do with awakening, you know, more than with revive. Revive, it has to do with somebody who's fainted and you revive him.
Yeah.
See what I mean? Yes. And again, rouse, does it make any rhyme with, you know? Rouse. Now. You see? What about no? Don't you think it has assonance, not like revive? There is assonance. It makes some assonance, and this assonance has to do with complaint. Okay, then the sun will know. The early sun? What about the early sun? Or the morning sun? Do you think the early sun is a good choice? The bright sun? Yeah. Yeah, so you think, you know, here, because it seems like to us, like the soldier is dead, and the poet is sarcastic, so the bright sun, I think the bright sun might be also sarcastic. The bright sun, the bright, you know,
Doesn't work with the meter.
the old with no, old, and old has to do with the sense of weakness, inability.
Also the meter.
The meter. What do you mean the meter?
The kind old sun will know, or the bright sun will know. It's like it's a less, like 1 feet. I don't know.
Less syllable, you mean? The syllable itself.
Yeah, 2 syllables or 1 syllable.
Yeah. Think how it wakes the seeds. Sorry. I say the old kind. If we say the bright kind, it doesn't make the irony.
Yeah.
But the old kind,
Sort of, there's some sort of.
antithesis, how come you are old? Because old has to do with the sense of ineffectiveness, the sense of inability, and the sense of futility as well. Because if the sun is unable to rouse, to awake, we feel there is nothing, worth. We feel there is a sense of futility. And all of this makes pattern with the title of the poem, Futility. Okay, let's see the second stanza. It starts with think. How does move in the first stanza differ from think? Move him into the sun. It's like an order. It seems like the poet is indignant, is very angry. But now, once the poet made sure that the soldier was dead, he's no longer angry, but rather he's inviting us to meditate, to think. Think with me. How? So he is in the mood of meditating. Like what? Think how it once wakes the seeds, how the sun wakes the seed. So he's inviting us to think about what? About ourselves? About what? About the sun doing what? Waking, how it was giving life. So now he started to ask questions about life. Think how it wakes the seeds once the clays of a cold star. We say here what? Move or stir or walk. What about move? Think how the sun moves. Yeah, we have redundancy. So I think, here, walk, because again, it makes pattern with wakening, the sense of wakening. Because here, as we said, wakening is an issue. Is he awake or is he asleep? Walk the clays of a cold star. This is like a nice metaphor. And we're talking about the clays of a cold star. What is it a metaphor of? Well, this is like a metonymy. What is the cold star? It is the earth. So here he is inviting us to question the meaning of what? Of life on earth. So the death of a soldier made him question the meaning of life in general, of cosmic life, how it started. Think how it once the clays of a cold star. And then our limbs so dear achieved, our sides full nerved, still warm, too hard to stir. Do you think stir is good, choice? Huh? Why good choice? Because it makes imperfect rhyme with Star. So here, as I told you, like there is nothing perfect. So choosing the imperfect rhyme has to create a sense of, or it creates a sense of futility. Because here we're not dealing with, perfect rhyme. Was it for this, the what? Was it for this, the soldier? The clay. Why the clay?
This is what we really are.
It's a metonymy of what? What is he? Yeah, because he's linking the soldier, the death of the soldier, with, or the life of the soldier to the life of the universe, and the death of the soldier to the death of the whole universe. Was it for this, the clay grew tall? Was it for this? Are we created to die like this? This is what he's asking. Or what made futile? I think this is very important because it is the only, what made futile, friendly, sunbeams. Is it friendly sunbeams? No. A friendly is good, I think. Why not? Because it doesn't go with the context. So here the poet chose what? Fatuous. It is the only word which deviates from all the words in the poem. Because this is, most of the words in the poem, or all of the words, are monosyllabic. And this is the word fatuous. Fatuous. It is like 3 or 4 syllables. Fatuous. And we kept, what is fatuous? So this is like, here he's inviting us. And I think the only pattern it patterns with is the title itself. Fatuous. To break earth's sleep at all. So this is a rhetorical question. He's asking about the meaning of life from the very beginning. Life on earth. What is the meaning of this life? Why, what made fatuous sunbeams? Like here the sun, which woke the seeds, was fatuous. Why? Because you work very hard to revive, to give life, and then people are dead. I relied on you to read the commentary at the end of the stylistic analysis, and I want to share it with you quickly. Commentary A, commentary B, commentary C. Perhaps, the many references to awakening in the poem are poignantly ironic. It's page 110. It's in the appendices. Just as we know that it will do no good to move the soldier, so we realize that he cannot be woken. He is in a sleep of death. It is death which ends a short life in a word which comes to seem increasingly futile. Perhaps the sun should never have awoken this word in the first place. Then these agonies and the futilities would not have to be suffered. And this is what the poet wanted to say. Perhaps there was no need for life from the very beginning, then we would not have suffered all of this. These contrasts seem to cancel each other. Life and death, waking and sleeping, cold and hot. These contrasts seem to cancel each other out, and they produce a feeling of emptiness and nothingness. When we have expectation, when we have things which we are cancelled, which by each other, you have snow, it is cancelled by the sun. You have life, it is cancelled by death. So this cancelling effect leaves us with sense of nothingness, think of emptiness. So I mean, and this is what the poet wanted like us to share with him. Like life, which starts like this, is futile. Life is meaningless. These contrasts seem to cancel each other out and produce a feeling of emptiness and nothingness. Most prominent among these contrasts is that of wakening and sleeping. Commentary B, it has to do with the sun, which I remarked, like, because the sun was introduced as, inanimate, and again we have this contrast. You can read it, it is there. Commentary C, notice the very characteristic of use of assonance. Sun, sown, once, France, snow, now, no, seeds, sides, star, stir, toll, toil, all. These half rhymes, they are not for rhymes, leave a sense of incompleteness on the ear. It cheated of our expectations of a rhyme. We are referred back from the poem itself as a formal triumph, which it is, to the poem's theme, to the frustration of the form. We have frustration on the form, of pattern, because everything is frustrated in the ruthless destructiveness of war. It is war. So in war, we don't expect to see patterns. We expect that everything is shattered. Okay, this is, a mini stylistic analysis, and I think you have the full stylistic analysis in your reader. You can read it along with the oxen, and, that's it for this poem. I think we still have 10 minutes to talk about miscellaneous things before we finish. Okay, this is your reflection. As I promised, I'm going to look at this reflection. If your mark here in this reflection, let's say, is higher than the mark in the first reflection, I'll stick to this. If it is less, I'll just combine both of them and take the average. So this would be part of the final exam, your reflection. I'm not returning this, to you. But I'll be returning, for you, the response and the report. Concerning the exam, first of all, before the exam, if you give me your response and report, I'm not going, to give it today. So tomorrow, if we have a school, I'm not sure whether we have a school tomorrow or not. We do? So if we have a school tomorrow, I'll be bringing them. If not, they will be in the teacher's room. We have, a room for the female teachers here. I can put them there and pass them to you, okay? This is for, your notebooks. Concerning the exam, I know you want to see which poems should not be. What we have been examined in the midterm exam will be, deleted. Yes. So we'll start from Shakespeare. Yes. And the first question in the exam will be comment. It is similar to the midterm question. It is similar. I gave you a model. You have to follow the model. Do not escape by writing about the poem. Stick to the extract. Show its relevance. Show its stylistic value, and its meaning. Explain. Concentrate on the extract. The second question would be essay questions. Essay questions. I'll be giving you a statement to talk, about the features of a school and to demonstrate, for example, Romanticism, metaphysical, Elizabethan. For example, the theme of immortality has been and Elizabethan discussed this with reference to the poems. You know, you have studied. You might refer to the poem we, cancel if you want. It's, you might want to refer. But it's like, it could be metaphysical, it could be romantic, it could be Victorian, it could be pre-romantic. See? This is an essay question. The most important thing is to substantiate, to give evidence from what you say from the poems. And I might tell you 2 or 3 poems, I might decide, yes, in reference to 1 or 2, I'm not sure how many poems. The last question, usually it is unseen, a poem, but usually it is unseen, and it is good. But sometimes I change, So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I might change this question. It might remain the same. Because each exam has, a surprise. Something. Okay. So we'll see. It might be similar to the med question, which, better? No, the unseen poem will be fine. So let's see. Because, you didn't do well with the question in the midterm. But I think, it is a possibility. It could be within it. You see? 2 questions like together. Now, at the end, I have nothing except thanking you. I know I was very hard, very tough with those students who were not coming. I succeeded in, this is what I felt, in making you work hard, and this is what I wanted, and I wish all of you that you would succeed. If you need anything, just let me know, either by sending an email or like seeing me in my office. Okay? I might add additional office hours, like to meet you. So I'll be like on Sunday as well. Monday, as you know, from 11 to 12. But I'll be on Sunday also from 9:30 to 12. I'll be waiting for you if you need anything. Sunday and Tuesday. Thank you very much.